So that's what I've been doing.
So I know you're big into 2K. What modes do you jump into?
Right now, my favorite is actually going to the park and playing 3v3 and also Pro-Am. A little bit more Pro-Am now because 3v3 sometimes is like not as realistic.
Get your official NBA merchandise, t-shirts, jerseys, jackets, sweaters, and more at Sports Illustrated. Located in North South
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports. DA, take it away.
Well, the
writing was on the wall for the end of the grit and grind era.
You're right, D.A., a big lift for their offense. And he defends, too. In a blazing start to the new season, we look at the updated power ranking. Some teams are hot, and some teams aren't. But take a look at the Nets. They're gaining on some of the teams above them. Utah ends up going with the new group. And the Clippers making a change here. You know, Smitty, every team at some point faces some locker room turmoil. How tough is it to balance team chemistry?
You know, it's very tough. Sometimes you have those 1 or 2 player additions that it just changes the dynamic of your team. Sometimes you lose a leader. He might not be the best player. Then a lot of times guys are playing for contracts, and some guys get a little bit upset because they figure they're playing for their individual success versus team. But when you have that right chemistry, it is beautiful.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for the Clippers. Murray comes in for George. Williams against Clarkson to the inside. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Fires from 14. Rebound by the Clippers. This their first chance this season playing the Jazz.
In this game, just the first of 4 meetings between these two. They'll get quite familiar with each other by season's end.
It's the kind of season series that can really make a difference in the standings if one team ends up dominating the other.
Greg, I'm just so impressed with the level of finesse and craftiness that Lou Williams always plays with.
And Kevin, you don't stay a perennial 6th Man of the Year candidate at Williams' age without having more than a few tricks up your sleeve. He's so good in tight spaces and can find a way to get a shot up where others just have to kick it out. And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Out left to the wing. 55 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Fires it up. It's not going to go for him. The Jazz go the other way with it. Clarkson with the ball. Williams picks him up. It's hauled in by Zubac.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Murray, no good.
Well, he's going to have some explaining to do on the sideline about why he took that shot.
Low percentage chance. If it's not there, give up the rock. Trust your teammates.
On the money from 12 feet away.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Now, here's Clarkson. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. From deep three-point range, and the last-second attempt doesn't fall. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Jazz lead by 1. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. During his tenure in Utah, Coach Quinn Snyder has quickly earned the appreciation of his players, including Rudy Gobert.
It's very lucky to have a coach like that. He really takes everything, with heart, and he wants us to be the best defensive team in the league, as I do. And I think when the coach and the players are on the same page, usually, good things happen.
Coach Snyder doing a terrific job with it. The Jazz with some changes. Gobert's checked in for Davis. Clarkson comes in for George Niang. And Mike Conley subbed in for Emmanuel Mudiay. Setting the floor for the Clippers. They're down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Patrick Beverley. Outside Brantley. Clock at 6. Back to Conley. That ball is in the basket. Now he's shot 6 and made 3 of them.
And Conley, because of his quickness and wingspan, he plays bigger than his size.
Good work defensively by Conley.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
In a funk this quarter, he's trying to shoot his way out of it.
How great the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, coming into the 2017 draft, Donovan Mitchell wasn't sure he was ready for the NBA. Mitchell said, "I worked out in the summer with Paul George and Chris Paul. They were the ones who convinced me to keep my name in the draft. They said, look, you're good enough. Just go out there and show it." Kevin, through a couple of seasons in Utah, that's exactly what Mitchell has done.
He has made an instant impact on the NBA and the Jazz. DA, thank you. Beverly against Mitchell. No basket with that shot. Having trouble finding his range. He's 1 for 5.
He's kind of lost his way this period, having a hard time getting anything to go down.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
And I just love it when the fast break results in a high percentage look. Not always the case these days.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. It's the Jazz. They're up by 1. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. With Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, what has to happen in the second half?
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. The Jazz with some changes. Bradley's checked in for Bogdanovich. Jordan Clarkson comes in for Mitchell. And it's Moutier in for Mike Conley. Bradley is out there with Gobert. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. Then it's Moutier, and it's Ingles in at the small forward. That's the group right now for Utah. Well, Ivica Zubac may not block a lot of shots, but Smitty, he is still a solid defender.
What Zubac does is a great job of challenging players at the rim and provides great help from the weak side. He does rack up a lot of defensive fouls, but hopefully that decreases with time.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
The Jazz have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
In talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Lays it up and banks it in.
Beautiful call that time up the floor. The hard screen frees him up for the bunny.
Now, here's Clarkson. Defense is right there. Gobert double teamed. And it's blocked.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Leonard, it's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Leonard's got the game tied up here for the Clippers.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Moutier pass to Gobert. Passes it to Clarkson. Back to Moutier. Latrey. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor.
He's been a big factor in their offense tonight, making shot after shot.
Outside Leonard. Outside for Jackson. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. To the left wing, here's Moutier, and he drops it in from the low post. And it's a 5-point Jazz lead.
We've talked about it before. Unselfish, great awareness. Ingles willing to turn down the shot if someone can break free.
And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one.
And an intentional foul right there. He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6.
With Kawhi, you love his talent, but just as important, you love the basketball IQ and work ethic.
And the Jazz call time here. They're trailing by 7. 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
And I don't think they'll be able to climb out of this hole.
I just think they have to focus on the moment. Don't worry about the score. Worry about executing the next play.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan player of the game, Kawhi Leonard.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything on that court tonight.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. And so Los Angeles takes the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guys.
Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and
nice little win streak for Jay and company here.
Who else you got playing?
You know, I have a few girls. I have Shakita, I have Hazel, I have Alicia. Sorry, it's a lot of names. Wendy, and then on the WNBA side, myself, of course. Andrew McCartry, Diamond Shields.
And just about to get underway as the starting five.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everyone.
We're wearing our costumes. We hope you are. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a prolific scorer.
Great vision, David. Thank you. Well, Clark, we've got a terrific game here on Halloween. Growing up, what was it like trick-or-treating on your block?
Well, it was wild and fun, and I actually outgrew trick-or-treating by the time I was about 11 or 12. I was just too tall to be out there in a costume.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. San Antonio shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
You know, in the loaded West, DeMar DeRozan, not an all-star last season after being one multiple times in the East, his first time missing the festivities in 4 seasons.
Morris against Gay. Morris, no good.
Boy, that defense smothered him in there. Love the intensity.
And DeMar DeRozan the bucket on the assist by Murray. Murray's got his 4th assist in this one. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. You talk about that edge, Clark, for DeRozan, very focused on proving his doubters wrong.
Nothing wrong with playing with something to prove, with that kind of attitude and mindset, turning that negative into a positive. And most importantly, it can't just be a mindset. You have to put the work into it as well. And he's done that, gotten better each year.
And the jam by Rudy Gay.
And that's another basket for them. They have really come out blazing here in the first.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
In the corner, George with it. Five to shoot. Gets the 14-footer to fall.
Really difficult to contain Paul George in these pick-and-roll sets because of his speed. I mean, that's one element that gives him a great advantage. He's really good at making decisions in tight spaces and in these pick-and-roll situations.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Kicks to Beverly. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. DeRozan against George. From the stripe. That one off the back iron and out. San Antonio with the ball. They're on a 17-6 run.
And the Spurs, I've heard it said, the most process-oriented team in the league.
Well, that's an understanding of what it takes for them as a small market team to be successful. A good assessment of what they have to do as the San Antonio Spurs to be good. Scouting, coaching, chemistry, all part of that.
Gay right side. It's stolen by Morris. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. And here they go. Comes up empty down low. San Antonio leading by 7. And White kicks to Murray. And he lays it straight in. Murray's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
And it's a completely... So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. George trying to break free, and he uses the glass on the layup. Leonard's got the lead up to 4 now for Los Angeles. Leonard down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Landry Shamet. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Murray, good.
You know, that's a veteran play. DeRozan stays open to all possibilities. That's seeing the game in front of you. Excellent find.
And George kicks to Leonard to the right side. Pass to Harrell. Shamet on the wing. 4 on the clock. From about 19 feet, that one misses. Murray with the defensive effort. And Clark, ordinarily quiet by nature, LaMarcus Aldridge has become a more outspoken leader in recent years.
Yeah, and that's a good sign. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone for the good of the team. Aldridge is, by nature, a laid-back, quiet guy, and sometimes that can work against a team, but in his case, he realized that he needed to be more vocal and stepped into doing that.
Morris is checked in for Landry Shamet. Clark, a lot of coaches like to run their offense through centers. Any names you can think of who you'd be comfortable running your offense through at that position?
Well, just because I've watched him and loved his game since locking into him, Jokic.
Yes.
Man, can he pass it. He can shoot it. He can score it inside. He's got such excellent hands and touch. He's at the top of the list. Marcus Cousins, big guy that can shoot it and pass it as well. And Marcus Hall is also in that list.
You'd feel comfortable with any of those guys holding the ball, distributing the ball, wouldn't you?
No doubt.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then, because his shot making is not happening right now.
Passes it to George. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And it's Harrell missing.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm. You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
There's the triple. That's his first basket of the game. 1 for 6 and looking for more.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
Murray, the pass to DeRozan. Here's Gay. The 3. Second shot opportunity. And DeRozan with the layup. DeRozan's got it all tied up now for the Spurs.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure.
I get the feeling, guys, that he may be sensing that this is a critical time in this game.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Pass to Harrell. No good on the shot. Aldridge with some nice D. Here's Murray. The wide open look here for DeRozan. And the 3 off target. Here's Leonard. Some solid defense from Gay. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very... And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. San Antonio leading on the court right now for the Spurs. We've got Mills. Back at Pirtle up there with Lyles. And it's Walker in at the small forward. Here's Lyles. And nothing is falling for him right now.
He still hasn't been able to convert from the field. He's just struggling to find his shot.
Jackson deciding where to go with it. For the lead. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
1:16 left to play in the third. And the shot goes in. And the Spurs lead by 3.
Boy, dictating the action. That's what Forbes does here on the drive. And that's what I tell him to keep doing.
Over to the left wing. Murray against Walker. Forbes with the rebound. Spurs leading by 3. Lets the 3 fly. Walker's shot is off. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That'll be the second of 5 straight played at home. For the tie, Los Angeles with a fresh shot clock. It's good. Harrell's got 8 points.
Excellent activity and timing on the offensive glass. That's how you get extra possessions.
Now here's Mills, guarded by Jackson. Bounce pass Mills. Here's Lyles. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. 7 lead changes now, and we're just in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, frustrating for a coach, but it's great to watch as a fan.
And the game still closely contested as we end the 3rd quarter. Clippers ahead, leading by a point. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, clearly he's the guy that stirs the drink for him, and that's how he does it, with his dynamite passing skills.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this 4th quarter promises to be a good one. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this 4th quarter. So for the Clippers right now, the 2 stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Then there's Jackson. Then it's Montrezl Harrell. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Clippers.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
And also, I think it's really led to the rhythm and confidence you've seen from long range tonight throughout the entire game.
White, he's checked in for the Spurs. There's the pass to DeRozan. Over George. DeRozan's shot is off.
Boy, he's got to be disappointed in the result there. I mean, the defender really didn't make any impact at all.
And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are...
At the line, for your Clippers, Lou Williams. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 9.
Boy, he's an outstanding free throw percentage shooter. I mean, for his career, one of the best is Williams. I think it's a wrap. When the game's on the line, he knows how to deliver the crushing blow.
So the Clippers winning this one easily. Some Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you next time.
Good out there. Hey, let's get a picture. Hey, high five. Come on. Good job, guys. Come on. Hey, man. Hey. All right, let me get a picture, though. Yeah. Come on.
Spirits are high in the home team locker room as the winning streak hits 4.
Well, awesome. I know you're also involved in Gamer.vote. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Gamer.vote, I think it's amazing because as gamers, we make up about 136 million plus gamers in the world, right? That's a lot of people.
Hey, there's the guy I'm looking for. How you feeling, Che? You ready to get this W?
You acting weird? I mean, really, you're making it more weird. What's up? Just tell me.
Okay, it's your clothes. They're a problem. You're a star now. You gotta act like one.
What's wrong with my clothes? What's wrong with them? I mean, they're great. I stand by this suit.
Is this thing even tailored? I'm not saying you have to come in here looking like Russell Westbrook with an astronaut helmet and suspenders, but you gotta put some effort in. If you want to wear a suit.
There's a look at downtown Los Angeles from the... And we've got...
Well, Rudy...
Yeah, DA, very understandable. Thank you. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You take a look at Los Angeles. So far, they've got the fourth.
Yeah, I think certainly both have guys with size who also bring incredible skill to the game. And it's really hard to win this league without at least one elite player at one of the front court positions.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Here's Clarkson. That one wide left.
Well, seized up just a little bit at the last second. That's when he normally converts.
And George with this stuff.
And make no mistake, Paul George is a fierce finisher inside.
Pass to Clarkson. And here is Davis. Back to Clarkson. Nice ball movement by Utah. Here's Niang. He's covered by Leonard. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Davis. Excellent D there from George.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
And Jackson has become a reliable three-point shooter. That's a shot you got to respect.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Moutier.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Leonard. He's coming off an excellent season. 6th in scoring, and of course, he's got a nose for the ball. He ranked in the top 10 in steals last season.
And back to his points per game average last year, he literally propped up the team's offense whenever they needed it. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. Paul George on top.
There were so many nights when he controlled the game through his defense. Not a surprise to see him ranked at the top.
Well, the Jazz's Quinn Snyder has become one of the most respected head coaches in the league. And think, guys, a player poll even had him ranked 7th among coaches they'd like to play for. And consider he's in Utah. That is not exactly a free agent destination.
To the middle, here's Zubac, and the dunk by Zubac.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Moutier finds Bradley. To halt the run. And the rejection by Zubac. Now the Clippers moving it up. George has got the ball.
Got Kev, the speed in transition. Paul George is dynamic in space.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And here's Clarkson. He's coming off a 13-point game against Sacramento. Pass to Moutier. Over Jackson. The Jazz again can't hit it. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers with a 6-point lead. One of the better two-way guards in the NBA, Mike Conley said, is it?
He's one of my favorite players growing up.
And you know, tune swap here for the Clippers. Utah also making some changes. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Davis. Mitchell comes in for George Niang. And it's Mike Conley in for Emmanuel Moutier. Taking a look at the Jazz. Conley runs the point with Mitchell flanking him. Bradley is out there with Gobert, and it's Clarkson in at the 3 slot. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Here's Mitchell. He had a 36-point outing in the last game against the Kings in Sacramento.
And what a wrecking ball defensively, seen by the 4 steals he had in that game.
trying his luck from deep. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. Jazz trail by 6. Outside Bradley. 1:44 left in the second quarter. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
You know what I love about Donovan Mitchell? He is just as great off the court as he is on. This guy is engaging. He's self-aware. He is the real deal.
Emmanuel Mudiay's checked in for Utah. And with his dad working with Major League Baseball players, Mitchell was rubbing elbows with guys making millions. He saw some players who stayed humble and others who didn't. And you know what, Doris? I think it made an impression.
And I think, Kevin, if you listen to Donovan, he talks about how his parents impressed upon him the importance of how you treat people. So even with all the success, it's not going to this young man's head. He is so grounded.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
George passes to Leonard. Three-pointer. The rebound by the Jazz. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
And given their performance in that game, which was not necessarily a work of art, I had a hard time believing it wound up being as close as it did.
Yeah, it felt like the other side simply allowed them to hang in, and the score reflected that. Boy, he hasn't found the range yet here in the second period. Only 1 triple for him tonight.
About 7 seconds separating the shot. Oh, that was something else.
Have mercy.
You can see the improving court awareness of Emmanuel Mudiay, having an understanding for when to find his guys.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
The Clippers have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Good on both.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Now, here's Mitchell. He's covered by Shamet. Mitchell passes to Mudiay. Here's Bradley. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And that concludes the first half. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one. Teams changing it up here. To the paint for the lead. Rebound collected by Clarkson. Utah's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. They've got Patrick Patterson. Also, Ivica Zubac's out there. Landry Shamet is out there with Jackson. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Just 4 to shoot. Another shot. The shot by Clarkson, no good. And Los Angeles guys shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively. Doris, great scoring is often reliant upon great foot. And we hear coaches, don't we, talk about that all the time?
We really do, Kev. You look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, who at the point guard position is one of the great scorers. He's a clutch shooter. He doesn't go to the free throw line a lot, and it's because he's so elusive. Can finish left and right, puts a lot of English on his shots. DeMar DeRozan gets separation with incredible footwork and maybe the best in the league right now in terms of his footwork. That tap dancing James Harden, which is just nearly impossible to check.
I love those names, and you're so right. And it's fun to watch. What a skill. Back to Jackson. Harrell with it. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. Mudiay against Jackson. And slam dunk by Gobert.
What a boost when Rudy Gobert is this efficient on the offensive end. Such a smart basketball player.
To the left side wing. I'm deep. And that one is off.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
Niang passes to Gobert. Lays it up off the glass. Gobert's got 8 here in the quarter.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Back to Jackson. Pass to Zubac. Here's Shamet. And they get it. Rebound collected by Clarkson. Over to the wing. No one near Moutier as he lets it go. Misses there. Rudy Gobert, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Well, this is why, Greg, great point guard play is so critical in today's NBA, and you see it right there on display.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. So on the floor for Utah, we've got Moutier. Jordan Clarkson is out there with Brent. And it's Rudy Gobert. And it's Mitchell in at the 2. Yep, that one goes in there. Harrell's got his first 2 points of the night.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
This is a player who understands when the game is hanging in the balance. He knows it's winning time.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Jackson against Moutier. Now here's Jackson. 5 on the clock. This one for 3. No good there. Now the Jazz take it the other way. They host the 76ers after this game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Shoots from the baseline. Here's Bradley. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And he makes the first. And they go to the intentional foul.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5.
And still trying to find his footing in the league. Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
Well, what a performer this guy is. Game is on the line. He stands up and delivers.
And the Clippers call time here. They're trailing by 6. 6 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Guys, your thoughts?
Some call them wins and lessons. Coach not wasting any time making his point.
Well, maybe not his time, but this game is certainly finished. Let's get it over with.
6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so it's Utah with the win. This was a hard Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have won at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you. But they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Ultimately, it's about getting my guys involved. That's what I
You know how they say you don't miss something until it's gone? Thankfully, the wait is over. Because it's all back. Well, with a slight twist. It's the game you love, like we've never.
Clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Cause I'm KO Rex and I'm on the mic and premieres on the brand.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off.
The Bucks took
the feeling, no doubt mutual. Thanks, DA. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now. These the new power rankings. They tell a great story. Taking a look at Milwaukee, they're gaining on some of the team. And Smitty, what about the teams that know they're going to be championship caliber contenders? How do they stay motivated early in a season with so many games to play?
You know, it's hard. I think a lot of those guys, they're looking at, I would say now we're talking about load management for those type of teams. They're just trying to make sure their bodies, their minds are ready for that run. But usually those championship teams, they understand they're motivated by winning. They get it together at the right time.
Here's Leonard, and the shot is good. Leonard's got his second bucket of the night.
Like a gazelle cruising down the court, Kawhi's difficult to stay with in transition.
The Bucks working the ball around. Here's Ilyasova. The Clippers grab the miss. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
A matchup that only happens twice a year. These interconference battles can be a lot of fun.
The balance between East and West after years of being dominated by the West is starting to even out some.
And I love the tenacity, guys. He simply can will his way into games at times and exert his presence.
Here's Antetokounmpo. That's in. He's got two made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Harrell, the pass to George. 20 feet out. Another one falls for the Clippers.
He's given a great lift to this offense tonight. Very, very efficient.
Here's Bledsoe. The shot will not fall. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
The power, the length, the ability to finish. Leonard dominant in that painted area.
Bledsoe outside. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell. And since coming... And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Hill passes to Antetokounmpo. Pass to DiVincenzo. 6 on the shot clock. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Empty possession, and you don't want to miss these easy looks.
And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got, Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Then it's Ilyasova, then there's Hill, and it's DiVincenzo in at the shooting guard. Top of the key jumper, no good.
Well,
he's going to have some explaining to do on the sideline about why he took that shot.
Low percentage chance. If it's not there, give up the rock. Trust your teammates.
Leonard with the bucket. 1:46 left in the first half. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Passes to Giannis. Down low. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line. And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And Greg, after this season, Antetokounmpo will be eligible to sign a Supermax extension. The Bucks want him to stay happy.
The loss of Malcolm Brogdon last summer definitely stung. Trying to control costs, but you don't want to take a step back with Giannis's decision looming.
Nice dime to the open man. George Hill, more of a combo guard, making things happen right there.
Now the pass to George. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist by George. 14 points for Leonard.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Ilyasova finds Middleton. To the wing on the left. Here's DiVincenzo. No good from outside.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely...
Hold on!
You got to buckle up on that one.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
Here's DiVincenzo. Ilyasova passes to Giannis. Tries again. Offensive rebound. Ilyasova. Pass to Hill. He kicks to Ilyasova. Missed it, even after all those chances. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Completely new group for Los Angeles. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Robin Lopez is checked in for Lopez. Ilyasova comes in for Antetokounmpo. Matthews, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And it's Hill in for Dante DiVincenzo.
Lou Williams has been a weapon off the bench for so long, and he has won Sixth Man of the Year multiple times.
Patrick Patterson is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then there's Landry Shamet. Then it's Williams. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Lopez, no luck.
He goes up strong, but he is met with resistance. I think that surprised him a little bit.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Chris Middleton was a first-time All-Star in 2019. We all know that Middleton is one of the league's best shooters, but he had to adjust his game to a new system under coach Mike Budenholzer. Middleton said, "I guess that's what being an All-Star is, a team player and a complete player. Not playing for stats, playing for nothing else but to win." Kevin?
First-time All-Star and well-deserved. David, thank you. Los Angeles shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. And for Lou Williams, he is just instant offense when you bring him Smitty into the game.
And a lot of that is just his mindset. Lou Williams, once he's checked in, he is attacking at every given opportunity. Not everyone can be successful off the bench, but Lou Williams has made a career of it.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Lopez outside with the teardrop. Hill, no good.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Pass to Lopez. And here's Bledsoe. Zubac's defending. Bledsoe taking his time here. Matthews with the bounce pass. Hill has the open look. And the Bucks miss again. And so it's Los Angeles, holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They have made it very tough. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Fundamental basketball. Keep your eyes up. Keep the ball moving. We're going to keep the defense on its heels.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Steve, the number of timeouts and even fouls have dropped in recent years. Do you think that's brought a better flow to the game?
Yeah, I think so. I know we have so much stoppage in our game, especially when they go to the referee's review. If we could do something about that, but I love that they've dropped the number of timeouts to keep the flow of the game. That's what most fans want to see, just the flow of the game continue.
On the floor for Milwaukee, starting the 4th quarter, we've got Robin Lopez, Brown out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Kyle Korver, and it's Connaughton in at the 1. There's the dish to Lopez. And the rejection by Zubac. And here again, Los Angeles in transition. Up the court they go. 4th quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. And here is Shamet. From beyond the arc. Rebounded by Korver.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Passes it to Connaughton. And for a team schedule that includes 4 games and 5 nights, sports writers have introduced the term schedule losses due to fatigue. I just don't think that's very good, but it's the reality right now.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes, Kevin, you know these games, you travel a lot. Your legs are just done, and that's when you have to rely on a total team, play more guys. But it happens. You can't get out of this quicksand. You're going to have those type of losses.
And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. And some changes here for the Bucks. Lopez. Everly with the ball. So the Clippers winning this one easily.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow.
Che, you got a second?
Yeah, what's up?
You did a lot of distributing tonight, leading the team in assists for your first time as a pro. How were you able to generate so many open looks?
It's a lot of things, Patty. Man, I got a lot.
The 2KMC has arrived, and it's time to check in on what's happening in NBA 2K20.
Bad news for CP3 fans, as it turns out.
"2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. The 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, it'll be the Portland Trail Blazers up against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Checking out the Clippers, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. Well, it didn't take Hollywood long to find Che. He's already speaking with Maverick Carter about production deals, Shaq.
Well, the kid can act.
The view high above our broadcast location tonight, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Welcome to this Thursday night in the DA It's All Yours.
And guys, some background on Che, the rare high-profile prospect that stayed in college for 4 years. He told me he doesn't regret the decision, even if it hurt his draft stock. He says he has no regrets and feels he's in a great situation. Guys?
David, thanks for that report. You're right. Not that many top players stay all 4 years.
You know, Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler come to mind. I could see Che having that kind of impact as he builds out the rest of his game.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Whiteside is out there with Anthony. And look now for Portland. Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Whiteside. Zach Collins comes in for Anthony, and Trevor Ariza subbed in for Rodney Hood. Chris, we're getting into a new season, but already we're seeing teams hit that injury bug early on.
Yeah, Kevin, don't you just hate to see it? So hopefully those guys come back healthy. And, man, you hate seeing that, but I tell you what, again, injuries can always also have a positive effect. If you get that injured player back, let's just think you get to give guys time that didn't get that much time before. So they're getting kind of 2 seasons within one. The playoffs come, you get that healthy player back. And, by the way, you have a guy that you've developed off the bench, and now you have a deeper team, a little more depth.
McCollum feeling it out a bit. Nurkic against Harrell. Nurkic the pass to Collins. Ariza outside, just 2 to shoot over Morris. And that one goes long.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Here's Leonard. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
And maybe the biggest story of this summer, where would Kawhi Leonard be headed in free agency? A player of his caliber commands that kind of media scrutiny.
A different look for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Harrell. Patterson comes in for Morris. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Kawhi Leonard. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Trent's checked in. Nurkic kicks to Lillard. Collins passes to Trent. To end the run. Good. He hits the jump shot.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. I mean, the D is worrying too much about the other 4 guys. I mean, they can't give him open jump.
To the wing right side. Stolen by Collins. Here's Ariza. No good on that one.
Cold quarter for him, ice cold. I mean, it may be time to give him a breather. Maybe someone off the bench can get him a spark.
Not often you see him take that shot. He has 5.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Lillard. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And Lillard times these floaters perfectly. He rises up with these, letting the ball roll off his fingertips.
Pass to Patterson. And the rebound by Nurkic. From deep. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Los Angeles controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a... The leadership mantle, something that Damian Lillard welcomes. He talked about
A lot of responsibility when things go.
platoon swap here for the Clippers. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. It's McCollum with the drive. Up and in on the layup.
And McCollum is remarkably quick. Love seeing him put it on the deck and finish at the rim.
On the floor for Portland, we've got Anthony. C.J. McCollum out there with Hood. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Whiteside in at the 5 down low. Morris kicks to Williams. The pass to Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Lets it go with a 3. No good that time. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
And the pick and roll tandem of Damian Lillard and Yusuf Nurkic, one of the most unstoppable in our league.
Yeah, Nurkic as a role man, not only a scorer, but also a capable passer too. They had the second most assists on the team last season. He and Lillard have mastered the nuances of the pick and roll game. It was a tough first quarter for him, but it's been a different story here in the second.
Los Angeles leading by 23. The dish to Harrell. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. They get Hassan Whiteside. The Clippers shoot their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
George is checked in for Lou Williams. And then for the Trailblazers, Collins checked in for Anthony. And Lillard subbed in for Hood. Back to Lillard, takes a 3. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight, and stolen by Lillard. Here's Ariza, and Ariza with the stuff.
Encouraging to see Lillard focus on improving his defense, showing solid instincts to come up with that steal.
Outside, George. We've got 22 seconds left now here in the second. Basket, good. So for the Trailblazers, their last game, a loss to the Warriors in San Francisco. Outside, Collins. George against Lillard. Fires for 3. Offensive rebound. The shot from the low post is good.
Yeah, and the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
And so it's Los Angeles, riding high with a 23-point lead. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. LA's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. They've got Ivica Zubac. Paul George is out there with Murray. Then there's Reggie Jackson. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
Portland shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Hassan Whiteside comes in for Zach Collins. And Hood subbed in for Trevor Ariza. Outside for Jackson. Clock is at 3. And again, no good by the Clippers. And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Portland Trail Blazers. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
One of the game's lead scorers and closers, Damian Lillard. With the game on the line, you know what time it is. It's Dame time.
Landry Shamit's checked in for Paul George. Chris, you talk about degree of difficulty. Damian Lillard takes and makes some incredibly tough shots.
No, Kevin, the percentages don't do him justice. Off the dribble, contested, from deep. Lillard is always a threat.
Inside, here's Trent. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Jackson, that's good.
I mean, come on. Jackson is so effective from the mid-range area of the court. He sticks these shots all the time.
Lillard against Jackson. Pass to Trent from past the arc. Drains it from beyond the arc. Trent's got 10.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
We've got 28 seconds left in the third. He doesn't usually fire from out there. 12 points for him.
This system is set up perfectly for him today. I mean, it's allowing him to find a lot of good shots.
Lillard scanning the floor. 11 seconds left in the third quarter. Out to the right wing from downtown. That one doesn't drop. Got it off in time, and he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, it's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate. That's an outstanding play.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Chris, you've been a commentator for the NBA Vegas Summer League. Amazing how much that event has grown.
Oh, how about this year? The Chinese, the Croatian national team. I mean, come on. It's just, this is a global game, and we're bringing all of them to Vegas to let fans go up in there and watch them and watch rookies at a young, early age and see the best players. I mean, this is awesome. You got to love how forward-thinking the NBA is. This is really cool to watch.
It is. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Whiteside is out there with Nurkic. Then it's Rodney Hood. Then it's Damian Lillard. And it's Trent in at the 2-guard spot. Both teams will make some. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had comfortable, they were not going to relinquish.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Olson, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA. Presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.
show. You're on with Hank and the Hornet. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So you're pretty new to this, Jay. I'm just wondering, how do you see yourself fitting in with the team going forward? What's your role there?
My role is just to do what I have to do.
So what's been the most surprising thing about being an NBA player?
I mean, the most surprising aspect would have to be the travel. And, you know, going into it, you know it's a lot of travel, but until you really go through it, you really realize, man, it's a lot. So I would say the travel, and it's pretty crazy.
Good stuff, Rick.
Thanks, homie. What's up, bro?
Yo, Jay. Thanks for making this.
What's up, man? No problem. What do you need me to do?
You know, I don't actually know. I think you're just... Hey! Nice shot!
OC from the world. That's cool.
Don, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
Can you fill me in on what we're doing here? Oh,
last couple of weeks,
Los Angeles, California is the scene for the Raptors. Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day. DA, take it away.
Well, the end.
Great, DA, thanks. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Los Angeles Clippers. On Wednesday, they'll be playing against James Harden and the Houston Rockets. And then on Thursday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for that,
we're coming down the road.
Yeah, most of that, Kevin, I think happens because of internally what's going on with the team. Yeah, on the floor, you're going to see guys operating in the offense, playing pick and roll, but
it's behind the curtains where you just begin to feel, right?
Good executives and good coaching staffs understand communicating to the people in the front office to say, hey, if we stay this way, our potential, instead of growing, is not knowing how low we're going to go. So we need to make some changes.
Raptors trail by 8. Here's Van Vliet. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Lakers.
You can't forget about all those well-timed swipes either. His timing on the defensive end was simply sublime.
Sensational feel in the painted area. Get Gasol the ball. Let him use his size and intelligence to full advantage.
Leonard finds Williams. We've got 1:28 left in the first quarter. Leonard against Siakam. And it's Leonard missing.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level. And his tonight.
Oh, the power on that throwdown.
Unreal. Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
When you get into a system, your first system in the league where you share the ball, Kawhi Leonard keeping his head up and finding the open man.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for the Clippers. Andrew Shamet comes in for George. And the Raptors also making a change. Boucher is checked in. Here's Van Vliet. Softly drops in the floater.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
At the top of the key, Williams. There's 37 seconds left in the first. That shot is off target. That makes him 2 for 3. Raptors trail by 5. Count that one from Van Vliet. Van Vliet's got 6.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
17 seconds left here in the first quarter. Six to shoot. The 3. Not going to go that time. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Clippers lead by 3. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Now a veteran in the NBA, Serge Ibaka, talked about his role.
I like to do all those little things, running up and down.
And Ibaka. Clippers shooting their 7th free throw attempt here. The 2 stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Then it's Williams. Then it's Ivica Zubac. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer, he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
The Clippers have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the reasons Toronto was able to win the NBA championship was the astronomical improvement from Pascal Siakam, who was recognized as the league's most improved player. It was the dream of Pascal's late father that he'd reach this level. His determination to make that reality has brought him a long way from home. Kevin?
It has indeed, D.A. Great story, and thank you. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
Tremendous amount of excitement around the Clippers right now, and why not? 2 elite players that could play both sides of the floor. They were already talented and scrappy. You just wonder if this group, with some of the additions and subtractions, can come together in the same way that last year's group showed the type of cohesion that a team that wants to perform at elite levels needs to do. This can make it so much easier for your teammate when you throw that lead pass that gets to him right on the money, whether that's on the run or in the shooting pocket.
Shoots from 14. 2 points. That one goes. And the Clippers lead by 8.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
Here's Van Vliet. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
The Raptors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And as a team, excellent a season ago. About 80% when they got to the line.
The Raptors making a switch here. Hollis Jefferson's checked in. And there's the pass to George. Connects on the 17-footer.
Now his range goes out a lot further, but didn't need to on that possession.
And so Siakam will bring it up for the Raptors, trailing here by 8. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
Yeah, watching that game quarter to quarter, they sped up, they slowed down, but they executed in every facet.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers holding on to an 8-point lead, heading in. We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. You have to like what platoon swap here for the Clippers. And then for Toronto, Boucher is checked in, and it's Rondae Hollis Jefferson in for Anunoby. Throw good, Siakam. What improvements, Brent, do you like to see out of players going from season 1 to their 2nd season in the league?
Biggest thing, Kevin, turnovers. Player comes into the league, has an opportunity to play, wants to rush things, plays too fast, doesn't have an ability to slow down and make reads. From season 1 to season 2, and given the role and responsibility for that player, when you watch a guy whose ability to take away the mistakes, the simple mistakes he made last year, that's growth.
Because it's connected to so many other areas of his game.
Right, and he's not trying to do things that he wasn't capable of doing when he came into the league last year. He's understanding more of where it is that he's best suited in possessions and for that offense.
Good explanation. So the Raptors 5 right now. We've got Hollis Jefferson. Davis is out there with Fred Van Vliet. Then it's Pascal Siakam. And it's Boucher in at the 5, down low. He tries for 3. Rebound by the Raptors. Here's Hollis Jefferson. The shot that time, not on target. Clippers leading by 12. Williams for 3. Knocks down the 3-ball. Williams has got 6 here in this quarter.
During his career, Lou Williams has been a decent threat from the 3-point line, around 35%. Good at stretching out the court.
Van Vliet can't get it to go.
For him, it's harder to miss that shot than it is to make that shot. I think he was anticipating a bit of a bump there.
The feet to Patterson. Down low. Fades. The shot off that time. And Toronto will come the other way. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Hollis Jefferson passes to Van Vliet. High, arcing shot. And trying to get it to go, even with the contact, but no good, and he'll try to pick up 2 at the free throw line coming up.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Raptors have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts. 6 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Morris. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers. 13-point. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Harrell is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
Yeah, easy call.
The first one falls.
And thinking back to last postseason, the Clippers did not back down to the Warriors at all.
Well, LA was a much more physical team. I think they knew going in that the only way that they had a shot was to be disruptive, and they brought that on both ends of the floor, and that was going against a healthy Kevin Durant at the time. They took 2 games last year in that series, and the way in which they played, that spirit might have caught the attention of one Paul George and one Kawhi Leonard. Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there, Kevin. Too bad he can't release that one on target.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
And there's the call on Montrezl Harrell. That will be foul number 5 on him.
One team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
Their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Yeah, excellent defense around the rim there, Kevin. That they were disciplined and focused.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Paul George.
He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
That one falls.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing.
Good game out there, fellas.
That's how we do it, son. Good game.
Appreciate you, Sarge. Hey, what's up, Levi?
Hey, Che. Hey. The Gatorade reps here. I want to introduce you to her. They're thinking about working you into the fold. We just got to up your profile.
Oh, word. Okay. Hey, anything I should know?
Absolutely. Lesson number 1, be yourself. They love that. You guys ready to hammer out this deal?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Fantastic. Looking forward to a